We are outside, which can only mean one thing. It is day 3 of our 12 days of grilling, and we're talking beef again with Damon Holter from Croix Valley Foods.
Damon, nice to see you've got 3 variations on a burger.
I do.
And this is a good thing. People, I think, kind of sometimes ruin burgers on the grill. It's sometimes they're the worst from the grill.
And I think that it couldn't be simpler to do as long as you have just a few bits of information and you have a couple of tricks up your sleeve like we're going to show today. Yes. You can make amazing burgers.
So why is that though? Why is burgers are so simple, but yet I think sometimes they can not turn out the way that
I think a lot of times people overthink it, and either they're overcooking the meat, which is going to ruin the experience altogether. You're not using really elevated ingredients. I mean, in this instance here, all the buns, for example, I made these myself, and you don't have to do that at home. You don't have time to do that, but there's little tips and tricks that you can do to elevate that as well.
You made the buns?
I did. I'm like a man of many talents.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not doing that.
Wow, but you've got different flavors with the bun, which are going to go with the burgers. Okay, so you've got a Tuscan marinara burger to start with. Tell us about the meat that's going
Absolutely. So this is the Tuscan marinara burger right here. The meat that we're using is a blended burger that we are using some of our Croix Valley Italian seasoning with. You can put any kind of Italian seasoning you want, but we've mixed the Italian seasoning with diced onion, and that's what we're using as a base. It gives you a lot of amazing flavors, and when it cooks down, you get a textural element as well because you've got the onions in there.
Good.
So this one here has provolone cheese on it. We've done a pesto mayo, which is nothing more than pesto and mayonnaise mixed together, real simple.
Woo.
There's marinara on top and some red onion and a toasted pretzel bun.
Okay.
Doesn't get simpler than that.
Yeah, that's good. What do you want us to try that? What's happening with this? Are we grilling it?
Let's talk about the other ones.
Okay, let's talk about
We'll let you put one together.
All right.
You get the steak burger next.
Yes, Steakhouse burger. So that one is right here. This is a blended burger that has sauteed mushrooms in the blend, as well as our Croix Valley garlic seasoning. So those are the 2 things that we're starting with there. We've got that on a bun with a horseradish mayo. Again, horseradish and mayo just mixed together.
So good.
Shredded lettuce. There's Swiss cheese. We've taken the mushrooms and sauteed them further and braised them in beer. Simple to do on the stove or on the grill.
Okay.
And then some crispy fried onions that we've got right over there.
Good choice.
All together, it's the flavors of a classic steakhouse, the onions, the mushrooms, all that. But again, really easy to do. It's not complicated. Last one I've got here is actually one of my favorites, just because it's so packed with flavor. This is the Greek Gyro burger.
Yes.
This guy right here, right in the middle there, starts with 80-20 ground beef. We've mixed in our Greek seasoning and feta cheese.
That's the winner right there. Yeah,
the feta has so much flavor to it, and it doesn't melt out when you cook it because it's really hardy and it withstands the temperature. So this guy's got some lettuce on there. It's got the homemade tzatziki sauce recipes online, as well as tomato and red onion.
So you get that fresh.
It tastes like a gyro.
Yeah, that's it. I'm excited to try that one because a burger obviously is hearty, but when you make it kind of the Euro style and the Greek style, it sort of lightens it up a little bit.
So good. Okay, so what's happening when you're on the grill? You're saying make sure that you don't overcook it. We don't want it overdone. And those look like some solid, big patties. You're not doing little tiny ones.
Correct. The way that I like to do patties, and you can see them right here, the way that I like to do them is I start with either a 1/3 or a 1/2 pound. You can do a 1/4 pound, depends on what you're looking for. But we make them a little bit larger than the bun needs to be, but we flatten them out so that they're an even thickness all the way across. And not only does that help to promote the burger to cook evenly, but it also gives you a really perfect bed to be able to build all of your ingredients straight up so that every bite, edge to edge, is exactly the way that you intended it.
I like the burger is bigger than the bun.
I do too.
It's the worst when you get a burger and it's so much bun to get to the burger. It's like donuts that aren't properly filled. It's just rage-inducing.
Well, and it's a nice presentation because it feels like you're giving more to the person. Like it's this kind of hey, we're going to overload you with goodness because there's so much that's kind of oozing off the sides. Now, the preparation of the actual meat. Now, I keep hearing you don't want to overhandle the meat. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep, for a couple of reasons. Number one, your hands are warm, and the fat and the collagen in the burger will melt. It'll start to melt the more that you start to play with it. So that's one of the things that you can start compacting that beef. The more you play with it, and you're already melting fat out. That's why you start getting greasy hands, especially. So you want to minimize the amount of time that you're actually actually handling the beef, but you also want it to be cold when you're forming it. And a loosely packed burger is going to have a really awesome mouthfeel when you bite into it, much like you're biting into a steak rather than biting into a really dense meatloaf.
It's not so dense. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, should we build a couple and try?
Yeah,
we got about
go
a
right
minute left,
ahead.
so we got to cruise.
Go right ahead. We've got a couple of buns here for
Yeah.
you. You can grab a pair of tongs, throw on whichever items you want there.
Thanks.
There's some Swiss cheese on that one right
Okay,
there. That
all right.
one's got the
I'll just
blended
go with the
mushrooms
one
in
on
You
it.
go that
top,
one, and I'll
Okay.
go with this one.
That's the Gyro one. That's a Greek one.
yeah,
That's a
look at
Greek
that.
one.
Good one.
So yours right here would be really great with that tzatziki and the feta.
Okay.
And Elizabeth, you've got the Swiss right there.
Yeah.
I would put some of those tangled onions on there and some of this horseradish mayo.
I'm gonna get after it. Oh my gosh, this is so fun and so good. And if you were doing, whoa, I got a little aggressive there. If you were
That's okay.
doing like a party, how fun would it to be to have all these things out and have different burgers and
Do
people
like a
can
burger
try
bar.
and you can do a total
There you go.
burger
You want
bar.
some
Absolutely.
crispy
Hook me up with
onions?
some of those crispy
Yeah, there you
onions,
go.
buddy. And you made these.
Yeah, those onions right there are
He made everything.
marinated ahead of time in some of our original steak sauce that I've got right here.
Yeah.
And when we take them out after they've been fried, we put a little Parmesan garlic seasoning on top of
just
it.
gonna
Look
go
at
ahead.
that. Get after it. Oh my gosh, we got to have a bite. And then
There
we're
you
going to
go.
try all of them. The Gyro one.
Already. It's incredible.
Packed with flavor, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. The meat is so flavorful.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens when you're doing that whole blended burger sort of style there. Put the flavors into the meat before you cook it, not necessarily afterwards,
Yeah.
and you're just going to elevate your bite every single time you make it.
Damon, you are a total
Yeah.
pro.
It's the feta.
Thank you.
So good.
It's the feta. All right,
So
you
good.
guys, you have to try these recipes.
Yum.
We did post these on our website, twincitieslive.com.
And then you can find more information about the Minnesota Beef Council, including more recipe ideas and even some meal planning strategies for you. Just visit mnbeef.org. Man, that was good.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so our 12 dog continues tomorrow. You're going to want to make room on your dinner schedule for this one, buttermilk hot pepper brined pork loin.
Yum.
Whoa.
Okay,